Hello, everyone. This is Coach Oliver once again. We are in the final round of the preliminaries in the FIDE Grand Prix 2022 in Berlin, Germany. Okay, the game I will feature is Wesley's game against Hare Krishna. And I have mixed emotions in this game. At some point, I was actually very ecstatic. I was very excited also that Wesley is going to win this one, avoid a tiebreak, and qualify for the semifinals. But somewhere he just had the wrong direction and drew the game, which gave me a little bit of a down feeling. Yeah. Okay, but you'll never know the reason why he opted for that draw, why he never went for the kill, what he's feeling during the game. We never know. We cannot judge the person. We are not there. Yeah. So we'll just go through the game and see what we can find from this game. See what we can learn. All right, let's start. Start with d4. Let's do it for d4. Hare Krishna went for knight f6, c4, 6, knight f3, d5 at g3. So basically, Wesley is intending to play the Catalan. Yep. Bishop b4, some kind of a Nimzo Indian. Bishop into d2, a5, protecting the bishop on b4. Bishop to g2, castles, queen c2. Wesley protects the pawn on c4, b4 castling. c5, all right, central break. Takes on d5, takes on d4, takes on d4, queen b6, attacking the knight on d4, e3, e takes d5. It was also possible to play knight takes d5. Here, black does not compromise his pawn structure with knight takes d5. He went for e takes d5 to give a line for his bishop. Yeah. Although this is an isolated pawn, okay, so castles, knight c6. But with knight c6, you don't have to worry about the isolated pawn anymore because the c6 pawn now protects d5. Okay, rook c1, double up on the backward pawn, c6. Rook to b8, okay, nice counterplay. Okay, the main point of rook b8 is that if Wesley decides to capture on c6, takes on c6, rook takes c6, bishop takes d2, takes d2, and black also has rook takes b2. So more or less, it's an equal game. Okay, so after rook b8, bishop takes on b4, queen takes b4. White has an attack on c6. Black also has a counterplay on b2. b3, bishop into e6. Okay, again, with this bishop on e6, this pawn now cannot be captured, right? Because this rook bc8 skewer on the rook on c1. The knight on b1 is still not developed. All right, so knight c3, developing move, stopping a4 as well. c5, knight into e2. The knight will come to f4 to get rid of that bishop on e6. And also keeping an eye on the d5 pawn. All right, rook fc8. These are two hanging pawns, yeah. Knight f4, c4. Black gets rid of one of the pawns, yeah. Takes, into d1. We now have an IQP still on d5. Queen c5. All right, this is an interesting position. Knight takes e6, takes e6. When Wesley captured on e6, this is the moment where I was so excited because it reminded me in way back in 1972, a game by Fischer against Spassky. When Fischer captured the bishop on e6, he dominated the light squares and also dominated the game against Spassky here. And speaking of that game, let's go through the one in 1972. Let's have what we call this throwback. Okay, let's go back to 1972. Knight takes on e6. Yeah, Fischer went for it. Takes on e6. He had this e4 after d4, f4. All right, that pawn or that square is now going to be a target. Remember that the e6 square is a target. e5 to b8, Fischer at bishop c4, king h8, queen h3, e6. Knight f8, b3 first, a5, f5. Here takes on f5, rook takes f5. You have central pass pawn. The domination of the light squares. It could also be here, put the queen on f5. Then take the knight, queen h7 here. So knight into h7, rook cf1, control of the f5 here. Queen into d8, queen to g3, rook to e7, h4, restricting the knight to go to g5. At the same time, also a king safety on h2. Rook to b7, e6. Yeah. That e6 square, remember that e6 square, because in the game by Wesley, we'll go to that e6 square later on. Rook bc7, queen e5, centralized queen. Queen into e8, a4. Not rushing things, fixing. All right, queen into d8. Black has nothing to do. It's rook f2, queen e8, rook to f3, queen d8, bishop d3. All right, this is brutal, yeah, brutal. Queen to e8, queen e4. White keeps regrouping, keeps improving his position, but black nothing. There's no improvement in black's position after knight f6. Fischer has exchange sacrifice on f6. Again, the light square weakness. Yeah? Light square weakness. Takes on f6. Rook takes f6. King to g8. Back to c4. King h8. And now queen f4. Heating h6. Here, Spassky resigned because there's also rook f8. Yep. If, for example, the king, say, moves back to g8 to protect f8, rook takes h6. Threatening queen f6 and rook h8. What can you do? There's nothing you can do. Because if you defend this line over here, this e7, there's a good attack. Yes. So it's the domination of the light squares after that take on e6. So when okay, going back to Wesley, when he took on e6, I was like, ooh. It reminded me of that game. I was like, oh my God, Wesley will win this game, and on to the semifinals. Bishop f1 was nice. Rook c3, takes on c3, takes on c3, rook c1. Now the control with bishop f1, white has the control of the c file, right? Because you cannot, here you cannot directly capture on c4. If you take c4, right, it just becomes a pass pawn. So I like this bishop f1, control of the c file, takes c1. And then after queen to b2, there's rook c2. Why a black cannot go for queen b1? There's rook c8. King f7, for example, there's rook c7. If the king goes back to g8, queen a4, right? Then queen c6, queen to e6. If the queen moves back, for example, here, just queen c2. Almost the same as what happened in the game when Wesley controlled the c file. So what happens? Queen b6, queen c1, control of the c file. Plus this light square weakness, you have a bishop, light square bishop. After e5, rook c6, nice move, rook c6, that e6 square, that e6 square. So queen d8, queen c3 first, hitting the pawn on e5. The queen cannot protect on e7 because there's also a pawn on a5 hanging. So e4, and Wesley played a4, which is a step in the wrong direction. Again, when we talk about the e6 square, light square, just bishop h3. Bishop h3. And in the long run, it's winning for white. If, let's say, king h8, for example, just put the bishop on e6. This is a backward pawn. King's not safe. Maybe let's go, let's say here h6, for example. Queen c5, control. Yes, control. I'm not too sure about what can black do here. Let's just say queen e8 and queen h5. But what about, okay, that's bishop takes e5, yeah. If you play queen h5, there's rook c8, rook takes c8, queen takes c8, king h7, and then just bishop b3, no queen d1. And if you go for knight g4 to attack h2, there's bishop g8. If here, queen e8. If you go here, h4, it's just winning. So the queen cannot move away from defending the d5 square. I don't know where is he going. Strong bishop. Again, the e6 square. Knight square domination. Again, a powerful bishop in an open position. The bishop is better than a knight in an open position. The control of the c file. Right? I don't know what black can do here. This is just close to resignation. Okay, maybe he can push a4, for example, safety king g2. Let's just say a3 is not possible. It's hard to, because this rook cannot move to b2 or anywhere because the rook c8. Yeah. Okay, maybe king h7. Okay, what about rook c7? Yes. And now queen h7, g7, a4. Yeah, I mean, when Wesley played a4, again, it's a step in the wrong direction because black was able to control this line, the h3 to c8 light square diagonal. And he gets the critical counterplay with g4. Bishop b5, Wesley was worried about the b5, but here the bishop is passive compared to if you play the bishop to h2 to e6, it was okay. Let's compare bishop to h3, for example. We play rook to b1, king g2. The rook has to go back, right? Because the rook can go c8. So you don't have to worry about the last rank. So this a4, bishop b5 is a wrong plan. Or maybe he was playing it safe. I don't know. We never know. Queen g4, he could still probably play queen c2 and try to squeeze out. But when he captured an a5, this is just a signal for a draw. This is a signal for a draw. So queen d1, bishop f1, rook to b1, queen a6, the rest is just, you know, the rest is nothing here, it's already equal. Okay, after h5, rook to b6, rook a1, h takes, queen e6, and black cannot stop the perpetual check. Therefore, draw. And what's so disappointing here is that with the draw, Dominguez was able to catch Wesley, and they will play the playoffs tomorrow. Wesley missed his chance here. Again, I had this mix of emotions, right? When he captured an e6, so that, ooh, this is his best chance to win and win the group and play Aronian in the semifinals. I was actually ready to go for it. Yeah, it would have been a different analysis. But then again, when he played A4, Bishop B5, oh, I was like, oh no, why did he do that? But we cannot judge Wesley. We never know what he's feeling. Yeah. As a fan, it's disappointing to us, but we also have to forgive Wesley because it's a different pressure. Yeah. What's at stake also is a different pressure. Okay, probably this is as an advice, no? As a friendly advice. Because Wesley has a talent. He has so much talent. But if we want to beat Magnus Carlsen, we gotta play like him or better. Yeah. And that involves fighting in every game. Okay, the draws may happen once in a while, but the moments where you draw and the moments where you need to win, you have to be consistent with those moments. If there's a chance to win, go for it. Okay, yesterday was okay with the Berlin draw, it was fine. But this one, there's a chance, you have to grab it. Yeah. In elite competition, you get a chance. Even Carlsen, only minor, like he has this, what we call minor advantage, he still goes for it. Yeah. He will try to squeeze. Okay, but it's just history. It happened. We still have 1 day to settle this one with Dominguez. So good luck to Wesley in the playoffs. Our prayers are with him. Yeah. Hopefully he will be also ready to face it and show what he's capable of. Yeah. We believe in him. We believe in Wesley. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching our presentation for today. I know we are all disappointed, but it's part of the game. It's part of the game. It happens. It happens even to the best of them. All right, guys, this is Coach Oliver. Thank you for the support of our channel, Chart Smash Chess channel on Facebook and YouTube. I will see you again in the playoffs tomorrow. All right, stay safe, everyone. Bye.